Right, so welcome everybody. Today I've got a really special presentation. Of course, as everybody knows, I am the president of the Lightskin Brother Association. And as I mentioned, us Lightskins are really showing up today, you know. So I figured it would be very convenient to share the first inaugural, honorable members, the first inaugural, what we call the State of the Lightskin Address, right? So in our State of the Lightskin Address, we will be addressing a really serious issue. Of course, as Lightskin guys, we have been suffering quite much, but we need to remember our greatness, right? We do need to remember our greatness from the beginning of time. If you think about when God made the heavens and the earth, He said, "Let there be light," right? Whether he was talking about light skin or which kind of light, at least that shows us that from the beginning we actually held it down for the light community, you know. And we don't know what race Adam might have been, but we do know that Eve was a yellow bone. You know how we know Eve was a yellow bone? Because even if you look at Instagram today, you'll know that all yellow bones love apples, of course, right? So we don't know what Adam was which race he was, but we do know Eve was a yellow bone. It's in proof. So our greatness stems from back in the day, and we need to reclaim our rights as the light skin community, of course, right? So if you look at, if we bring it a little bit closer in history, the first democratic president of South Africa was, of course, Nelson Mandela, another light-skinned brother, right? And he held it down. In fact, light-skinned people were winning so much, his wife's name was Winnie. You understand? Like, we were really winning at the time. Unfortunately, she was closer. We do forgive her for that part. Maybe that's why the relationship they got for a little bit. But of course, even one of the greatest musicians of all time, his career went up when he turned light. Of course, you know what I mean? He had a song that said, "It doesn't matter if you're black or white, but inside he knew it mattered whether you're dark or light," right? So, which is why, of course, which explains why he, of course, joined the light skin community, of course. So we do really need to reclaim our greatness, because there are great people who have existed that were light skinned as well. One of the most iconic groups, Trompies, in South Africa, was 99.9% light skin. If you think about Mahuta, if you think about Jaros, if you think about Mandla Spikir, they were all light skinned brothers. In fact, these guys were so great that even when Lebo Matosa jumped on the song Mahasman, all she did was sing the light-skinned brothers' names, right? She was like, Zaini, Manja, Zaini, Charles, you know? But then that's what, of course, when the light-skinned brothers, of course, had to always take it too far, right? Because a guy like Manja speaking, he has the name Manja. It means power, right? But and we gave him a pass. He called himself the King Tonfara nickname. It's all good, right? But the moment he was Speaky Ricky Wiki, that's when we were like, you know, ain't nobody's gonna crash called Speaky Ricky Wiki, you know? And light-skinned brothers always have to take things too far. But even one of the biggest groups as well, that was also 99.9% light-skinned, was Bongo Muffin, right? You have Thandiso Mazai, who sang in a sweet, angelic, light-skinned voice. You know, you have Stone, who said sweet, light-skinned poetry. And then you have Speedy, who has to take it too far with a towel. Like, we don't know what the towel is for. But of course, at the same time, on Tatis Kupu, you know, he came in nice. You know, like, Giti wo zanawe. Autatis Kupu, but then he had to do the light skin thing, light skinning too much, and do the ma, and that's of course when we lost it. As, you know, that was our downfall as light skinned people, because we were so great at a time that even dark skinned ladies wanted to be us. Of course, you know, the likes of your Kanyim Bows, you know, they wanted to be light skinned because, you know, at the moment we're under attack, we're under siege, we're losing our place as light skinned people. And in this State of Light Skin Address, I'd like to just show a reference of what's going on social media about us light skinned people before we obviously announce our official movement, the name of our movement. So I'll share a little bit of a reference. Hopefully you guys can hear. RIP, Michelle, you know, you can't talk about the ancestors.
Sin City was Sin City was
Getting too much, you know?
Sin Sin City was Sin City was Sin City was Sin City was Sin City was
So there's obviously a lot of these examples where, as light-skinned guys, we're not being taken too seriously. We're always light-skinning too much. But of course, I'd like to ask all of you guys to join in the new movement, which is called Join Us Lightskins in the Usual Struggle. We are, of course, still working around the acronym. It might not be working at the moment, but that's why we're here, obviously, to brainstorm and really flex our creativity. And of course, thank you very much for joining the State of the Lightskin address.
Yeah.